Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here with you. Week 4 LL League football, and you know what that means. Section openers, finally. Non-league games for Section 1 and Section 2 are over. There will be one non-league game per week in Section 3 the rest of the way, but for the most part the non-leagues are done, and we move on and we focus on the section races. So this will be video 1 of 3 for the week, talking about the Section 1 games. Alright, no more Mid-Penn, no more Berks, no more York. Don't have to chase those around. So strictly LL in Section 1 and 2 from here on out, and just the one game in Section 3. So 4 games in Section 1. Don't forget, 5 of the 8 teams in Section 1 are 0-3. So 5 teams looking to get off the schneid here a little bit in Week 1 of league play. Let's break down Section 1. Here we go. First one, good one in Lancaster. Wilson Bulldogs are 2-1. They'll come to Lancaster. They'll take on McCaskey. Wilson's cooking here all of a sudden, gang. If you didn't notice, they had the OT loss in Week 1 to Mifflin, and they've been really good ever since. Came to Mannheim and beat the Barons on the Monday night. Shut out Reading in Week 3, 41-0. Number 1 defense in the league. Bulldogs giving up just 183 yards a game, coming off a shutout win. So there were question marks all over the place. Remember, they only brought back 2 starters on defense. Well, this new group's doing pretty well. Number 1 in the league in D. We'll see if they can stay there. They'll be tested because McCaskey, despite the 0-3 mark, is really moving the ball all over the place. Dropped the 56-28 game at Lancaster Catholic last week. But still put up a ton of yards. Julio leads the league in passing. He's over 840 yards passing. A lot of good receivers at his disposal. Quashawn Davis is playing well, and of course Deontay Cherry has 25 catches, number 1 in the league. Rough news this week for McCaskey. Aaron Swinton is done. MCL and kneecap injuries. He'll be lost for the season, so McCaskey will be down a major weapon here. But they do have other playmakers, and we'll see how they progress. You know they don't want an 0-4 start. Nobody saw 0-3 coming, and now Wilson comes to town with the number 1 defense in the league. Wilson at McCaskey. Next up, Ephrata. The Mounts are 0-3. They go to Mannheim Township. Blue Streaks are 2-1 and playing well. Sort of the same boat as Wilson. Week 1 they go to overtime against a good opponent, Central Dauphin, and they lose. Come back and beat Red Lion at the gun, and then put up a bunch of points last week against Elizabethtown. So Mannheim Township's offense is sizzling. Brennan Scott is right up there with the league leaders and everything. Completions, yards, touchdowns, weapons galore. Kyle Bushong's been great. Chase Miller's been great. Scott Saladay around the goal line's been great. He's got 5 touchdown runs already. So Township's got some major momentum here going. I know I picked them 3rd in the section behind Wilson and McCaskey, and I'm sure the folks there in Nessville noticed that McCaskey's struggling a bit. So here's a chance for Township to get out of the gates here and get a win and get to first place and see how long they can stay there. And they know they have Wilson later on, so they play an Ephrata team, like I said, struggle a little bit. They're 0-3, one of 5 teams in the section that are 0-3. Ephrata led CV last week 7-0 at the half and ended up losing that game 17-7. Ephrata's been throwing the ball a ton. Jeremy Frank is way up there in completions and attempts. Pegged them to be a little bit more of a ground control kind of a team with the flex bone, but they've really gone up top a lot. So we'll see if they continue to go up top against Mannheim Township. Ephrata at Township. Next up, Hempfield at Penn Manor. This is always an interesting game, and I was surprised when I saw this stat. Hempfield leads the series 14-2, including last year. Hempfield came into this game 0-3, just like this season, and knocked off Penn Manor. So you know the Comets want a little payback. Penn Manor 2-1. They have the loss at LS, the 15-9 game, but they're coming off a shutout win last week. They beat Dallastown 23-0. And the Comets have only given up 28 points in 3 games. That's number 1 in the league. So stingy D. They've definitely played well on that side of the ball. Haven't given up a whole lot points wise. They'll get a Hempfield team looking for some momentum. 0-3, but they've done some things. I've been saying that for 3 weeks. They have some good offensive numbers, but the defense has kind of been towards the bottom here over the first 3 weeks. And it's Section 1, so, you know, Week 1, Section 1, 1-0 is huge. So somebody here gets a big leg up, Hempfield at Penn Manor. Last game, couple of 0-3 teams, couple of teams just sort of scuffling here. Warwick, Warriors are 0-3 with injuries. They go on the road to Lebanon. They'll take on Cedar Crest, which is also 0-3. Cedar Crest's offense has been okay, and Coach Warren Abbage always kind of mentions that. You know, we work hard, we play hard, they're scoring points, but their defense has been getting burned here a little bit. That's kind of been their Achilles the last couple of years, and Falcons are 0-3 again here for the second year in a row. They'll host Warwick. Tyler Farnan, the quarterback, has missed some time here with an injury. Brady Forney, the wideout, has kind of shifted over and done the Wildcat stuff. He's taken a lot of snaps. He's passed for a bunch of yards. He's passed for just about 200, and he's rushed for more than 200. So Warwick's been doing a lot of that kind of Wildcat direct snap, get it and go kind of thing. They've scored some points, but Warwick's winless. Hard to believe there's 5 Section 1 teams that don't have a win here going into the section openers. That's wild. Somebody gets a win here. Warwick at Crest. Wilson at McCaskey, Ephrata at Manheim Township, Hempfield at Penn Manor, Warwick at Cedar Crest. That's your Week 1 Section 1 slate. Friendly reminder, live blog Friday night will be Conestoga Valley at Garden Spot. I'll be making the trip to New Holland, anxious to see that game. Okay, keep it on the page all week for LL football news and LL League news in general. Appreciate you stopping by, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.